I had this colleague who never ate. Never. I was the advocate, the senior advocate of breakfast. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Try a different approach. We want to adopt a different kind of lifestyle to improve on our lives because it is said that if you keep doing the same thing and expect to see a different result, you are just simply insane. Right? Everybody is aware of the benefits of eating. Who does not love food? I don't know of anybody except maybe Pastor Jerry is who recently said he doesn't really eat. Yeah, that malaria will run. Okay, it will run. The malaria will run fast. Its legs will be touching the back of his head. The malaria will run away from you. And so that was. Hello, welcome back to my channel. How is everyone doing? I hope you've had a great week. So today I'm going to be responding to this comment someone left on a video I made about fasting. I wanted to just leave a comment in response to the comment, but I actually don't want to mislead anyone. I don't want people to misunderstand me and think I'm projecting something onto them, which I am not. And so that is why I decided to make a whole video in response to a comment. Pretty much this video was talking about me and being able to fast for 36 hours, which I do pretty often. In fact, today I'm on a 36-hour fast, which I'll be breaking tomorrow. And I was just sharing my ability to fast for 36 hours out of gratitude anyway, because I was just happy that I was able to do it. It was more or less like a test to see if I could actually do that while working on that particular day, which I was able to do. And then this person left this comment for me. You know, why do I share these details about my life, about fasting and what have you? It's not because I want to show off and make people think I am this amazing person who is able to go without food for hours. Even if that was my reason, it wouldn't be wrong, but that's not why I do it actually, because I do it because I'm actually a lifestyle vlogger. That's my niche. That's the niche I create content about on YouTube. I'm a lifestyle vlogger. My niche is lifestyle, all right? And I do it because I've learned a lot from other people's lifestyles, and so I also share my lifestyle, so first probably someone else could learn something that could help them. Yeah, so fasting is part of my lifestyle, and it has been for years. Okay, I'm going to tell you how I started fasting, how I began to develop this as part of my lifestyle. But first of all, I'll just say a couple of things. Yeah, fasting is part of my lifestyle, and if I'm a lifestyle vlogger, there's no way I will create content about lifestyle that I won't tell you that I fast, because it's part of my day-to-day life. Okay, so I do fast, and I just share it. I don't share it so people can start fasting as well. I'm not a fasting evangelist or fast evangelist or fast whatever. Fast evangelist. I'm not any of those things. If you decide you want to start fasting, that's great. Fasting or not fasting is your choice. I have my notes, so I'm going to be referring to them from time to time. How did I start fasting? I started fasting in 2020, actually. I was working in Lagos at the time, so I had this colleague who never ate, never ate in the office while we were all having our breakfast, and the office was a very free place where you could eat at your desk. Some offices are not like that, but in this office you can't eat at your desk comfortably. But he never ate. He never ate at his desk. He never had breakfast. He never went out for lunch, except maybe once or twice when maybe his boss asked him to, accompany him for lunch or something, or he went for a working lunch or something. But he never ate, like having a snack at his desk or having a meal, nothing. And that was his lifestyle. I was the advocate, the senior advocate of breakfast. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. That was my mantra. That was the credo I lived by. I could never do without eating breakfast. It was my favorite meal. So every morning I had my breakfast religiously at my desk. Never missed my breakfast. Why would I do a thing like that? So that's why I always said to him, guy, you know the job, don't you eat? Don't you eat? Because I believe that you needed breakfast for your brain to function optimally. You needed breakfast for your body to function optimally. So why don't you eat? Most of the while he would have a headache and say, it's because you've not eaten. It's because you've not eaten. And he would say, really, actually, it's really kind of healthy and, for you not to eat all the time. And so one day I had to ask him, why don't you eat really? Why don't you eat? And then he told me that he had the tendency to put on a lot of weight. And so he therefore imbibed the fasting culture to help him manage his weight. And it had worked for him, because when I saw him, I thought, there is nothing about you that suggests that you are overweight or that you struggle with your weight. And he said that is because I already manage it by fasting. So I thought, okay, that sounded interesting to me. And I've always, I heard about intermittent fasting and people who did it and everything. So I thought, okay, this is interesting. Then COVID started. And when COVID started, of course, after a while, we all began to work from home. And so working from home, every few minutes, I would go into the kitchen and grab a snack. Every few minutes, I would go into the kitchen and grab a snack. And I thought, oh, this is not going to work, because I put on so much weight so fast. Within 2 weeks, I gained so much weight. So I thought to myself, no, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. So I had to find a way. So I started doing all kinds of things. I started exercising, and then I started keto diet. I went on a keto diet for months. Keto diet is hard. I didn't proceed with it. And then I began to apply intermittent fasting, because in the long run, I realized that was the best way I could manage my weight. And it also helped me to manage my time better, because then I wasn't always leaving the desk to go grab a snack and everything. So I saw a video by Flo Chinyere, which talked about her intermittent fasting routine, and I'll link it here or in the description, put in the description. And I thought, okay, well, I can try that. So I started doing intermittent fasting. I wouldn't eat my first meal of the day till 12, and then I wouldn't eat after 6 p.m. That was helping me to keep my weight down because the keto wasn't just working. I just didn't like the keto diet anymore. But it's a great diet, but several reasons I decided to stop doing keto. If you want me to do a video about why I decided to stop doing keto, please drop a comment below and let me know, and I'll do that video. All right, so I decided to go on with intermittent fasting, and then I began to read more about fasting. I read more about fasting, and I realized that, oh, there's the other kinds of fasting. You can do intermittent, you can also do extended fasting to get more results, and I decided to start trying those. Of course, I'm a Christian, so I already fasted before that time. I've done 24-hour fast several times. Okay, so I started to go on with the 24-hour fast, and then before I knew it, I was doing 36 hours. That is the longest I have done, the 36-hour fast. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to try more because I love food so much. So anyways, that was how I started fasting. I started reading up about it, watching a lot of YouTube videos about it. I realized, well, it's a good way for me to. So that's how it cemented itself into my life. And since 2020 till now, I have been living a fasted life. I have been applying fasting as part of my lifestyle, and I have not had any health issues. So people say, oh, fasting will cause ulcer. It's not true. I was even on the verge of having ulcer before I started fasting, and none of those things have occurred. Since I started fasting for the past 5 years, I have adopted this lifestyle, and I cannot say of one negative result that I have experienced from it. So now I'm going to talk about this comment, right? And what this lady says is that benefits of food, eating, apply both to the service user and to the carrier. So everybody is aware of the benefits of eating. Who does not love food? I don't know of anybody, except maybe Pastor Jerry is a who recently said he doesn't really eat. I do eat a lot. I love food. I'm a foodie. I'm the biggest foodie in the whole world. Honestly, it's so hard for me not to eat. I love food. I'm not the kind of person that would say, okay, I don't know this thing, so I'm not going to eat it. No, I'm not that kind of person. I'm adventurous with food, right? I love to try out new food, new recipes, new meals. Maybe not snake or maybe not dog, but I love food. And I love, like I said, I was the senior advocate of breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So we all know the benefits of eating. I'll give you one. I grew up in Nigeria. I lived in Nigeria for years before relocating to the United Kingdom. And one of the things that we suffer a lot in Nigeria is malaria. And malaria is something that everybody experiences at least every quarter of the year. You have a malaria attack. Okay. One of the things I learned to help me manage the malaria intensity of the attacks was to eat, because malaria is a disease that takes away your appetite, like most diseases do. It takes away your appetite. You wouldn't want to eat. But then I realized very early that if I ate during a malaria attack, if I managed to eat, despite not having an appetite, the attack would be lessened by several notches. So I made it a point of duty to always eat whenever I had a malaria attack. And eat, not just eat, but eat a bar, swallow, as in heavy one, heavy. That is when you really know that malaria will run. Okay, it will run. The malaria will run fast. Its legs will be touching the back of its head. The malaria will run away from you. And so that was my method. That was my system. That was my approach to handling that sickness. So eating has benefits. I know of the benefits of eating more than anybody can tell you. But why are we talking about the benefits of eating when we're supposed to be considering the benefits of fasting? Because everybody knows the benefits of eating. Fasting is the road less traveled, and that is the road that often leads you to destination success. So why are we talking about feeding and eating when everybody has been eating all their lives? We all eat all the time. We want to try a different approach. We want to adopt a different kind of lifestyle to improve on our lives, because it is said that if you keep doing the same thing and expect to see a different result, you are just simply insane. Right? Can we just talk about the benefits of fasting for a change? Because this is what we want to learn about. And so I had to use ChatGPT to get you the benefits of fasting so that I can share it on this video, even though I have been fasting for years, but I just want to also give it to you from a source that is more or less not me. Okay, so what does ChatGPT say about the benefits of fasting? I'm just going to quickly read them out to you from my phone. As you can see, this is ChatGPT, if you can see it. Okay, so let me read it now. The core benefits of fasting, right? All right, metabolic health. Fasting improves insulin sensitivity and helps regulate blood sugar. Your body shifts from using glucose to burning stored fat for fuel, metabolic switching. All right, your body begins to burn the stored fat for your fuel. So you have fuel even when you're fasting. Okay. Now, weight and fat loss. That's the second one, weight and fat loss. It creates a natural calorie deficit without strict dieting. It supports fat loss, helping maintain lean muscle, especially with resistance training. That is if you are actually doing resistance training alongside with fasting. Cellular repair and longevity. Cellular repair and longevity. Extended fasting triggers autophagy, the body's recycling of damaged cells, linked to reduced inflammation and protection against age-related diseases. Brain and mental benefits. Improves mental clarity and focus due to steady energy from ketones. May support brain health and reduce risk of neurodegenerative conditions. And then simplicity and lifestyle. Cuts down meal prep, snacking, and decision fatigue. Flexible, works with many lifestyles, intermittent fasting, 24-hour fast, etc. The key principle. Fasting works because it gives your body regular breaks from insulin spikes, digestion, and constant eating, allowing repair, fat burning, and metabolic reset to kick in. So focus on blood sugar control, fat burning, cellular repair, mental clarity, everything else, hormones, gut microbiome tweaks, detailed fasting schedules built on these fundamentals. All right. So that's it from ChatGPT. The benefits of fasting from research online. Just ChatGPT has just pulled all the research online into this few points that it has given me, because we won't have time to delve into all the benefits that have been shared from various researches, various medical journals, from various sources that are available on the internet. So you can just go ahead and Google it and see for yourself. But this is what ChatGPT has just given us in a snippet for just information purposes. Now, personally, why I fast, the benefits I have seen in my life. The first one is that my blood pressure has been greatly affected positively by fasting. So before now, whenever I took my blood pressure, the lower number would always be quite high. So, however, I recently, this year, resumed the 36-hour fast. Like I said, fasting has been part of my lifestyle, but over time, I had actually reduced the number of times I used to fast. The whole of last year, I don't think I did a 36-hour fast. The most I did was 24-hour fast, and I was just not fasting. I was doing more of intermittent fasting the whole of last year, and also the previous year. I think mostly I did my 36-hour fast mostly in 2022. I think those were the time, that was when I did the last 36-hour fast. But 2023, 2024, I was mostly doing 24-hour fast, because of several reasons which I can share in another video, not today. So, however, this year I was just, I just got tired of the way things were going. I said, no, I have to discipline myself and go back to my extended fasting. So I resumed the 6-hour fasting in 2025 this year, in June actually. And thanks to NSP for 14-day fast for that. So I resumed 36-hour fasting, and in August I went for a physical examination at the GP. And when I got there, I told them about, they asked me if I had any concerns about my health, and I mentioned the blood pressure thing, and they said, okay, fine, we'll check your blood pressure. They checked my blood pressure on that day, and it was perfect. That was what the GP said. Blood pressure reading is perfect. Then last week, which was September, a month later, I also went to the pharmacy, and they offered me a free blood pressure check, which I took. And once again, they told me that my blood pressure was again perfect. Now, coincidentally, on both occasions, I was on 36-hour fasts. Both occasions, I was rounding up the fast on those days, and this wasn't planned. This was entirely coincidental that I was on those fasts on those days. Of course, if you're going for a GP for physical, and you're going to have blood tests, it's likely that you won't eat. Okay, so it was perfect for me. But I thought it was interesting that on both days I was on 36-hour fast, and my blood pressure was ticking, and it was really perfect. So yeah, that is one of the health benefits that I have received. I can say that I have received from fasting. In fact, at my last physical examination, GP said, you are healthy, like you're very, very healthy. I give glory to God for that, but I'm also thankful that I decided to resume my fasting routine, the 6-hour fast routine. And then another thing is self-control. When you fast, you find that you're able to control yourself, and not just when it doesn't just stop at your food control and your appetite control. It actually begins to transcend into every other area of your life. You can try this and come back and thank me later. Honestly, when you're able to control yourself with regards to what you eat, how you eat, when you eat, you will find that it will flow into other areas of your life, and you'll be able to control yourself in terms of alcohol. You'll be able to control yourself in your relationships, how you talk to people, the things you say. You'll be able to control yourself in terms of your anger issues, if you have such, your emotions. You'll be able to control yourself in terms of sex and so many other areas of life. So yeah, it does help you to build self-control and discipline, and every religion teaches this. Every religion espouses this attribute, ability to control yourself and discipline yourself. So that is one of the things that fasting also has helped me to achieve. Another one is productivity and focus, because I'm able to focus on tasks better and more productive. Like I said, I started fasting during COVID. I was working remotely, and the times I kept leaving my desk to go grab a snack and grab a meal or eat something actually affected my ability to concentrate on tasks. It was very distracting, and people have described it as food noise, being distracted by food noise. But since I've been fasting for extended periods, that reduces drastically, and I'm able to complete my tasks with laser focus and be more productive. And another thing that also links to is ability to manage time perfectly well. So my time management abilities have also grown, have also been developed by my ability to abstain from food. Because when you have to eat, you take time away from tasks to go and eat. But when I'm not doing that, I'm able to work. Like when I was working remotely, and my son, I would do school run 8:30, be at my desk by 9, and from that 9 till 3. When I had to go for school run of 3:30, I wouldn't probably stand up from my desk. You can imagine how much you would have achieved. I wouldn't even leave for it, probably just to read. I would have a bottle of water by my side, and that was it. And you find that you're more productive, and you use your time better, you utilize your time better. And the last thing is self-esteem. You find that your self-esteem grows by your ability to complete a project, complete a task that you set yourself. It helps yourself, it boosts your self-esteem, and this is one that everybody should actually try. Now, at this point, I would like to say that there are many things you can say fasting will do. You can say fasting will reduce your energy. You can say fasting will probably give you, probably have a headache as a result of not eating. Those things occur. You can say, oh, that you might feel pain in your abdomen because you've not eaten. Yes, those can happen, but they are easily remedied by just taking a little rest, a few breaks, drinking some water, and those will go away. And if you notice that some symptom is not disappearing after you've taken the usual breaks or water or whatever recommendation doctors may give you, then you break your fast and you eat. There's really nothing against that, okay? So yeah, there may be things that fasting can affect you. There may be ways that fasting can affect you, but one thing you will not tell me that it will affect is your productivity, your focus, and your ability to do your job well. And then I also want to say this, a carer is not required to apply physical force in carrying out their tasks. This comment was motivated by my video about me being a carer and not eating well on the job. But I do not require physical force to carry out my job properly. If you're using physical force to do the job of a carer, you're probably not doing it the right way. There are tools, there are equipment, and there are procedures that you're supposed to follow to carry out your tasks well. Because if you apply physical force in caring for someone, there is a likelihood that you might hurt the person or hurt yourself. So if you are a carer and you are applying physical force to do your job, you need to review your system because you're probably not doing the job well. However, when you have not eaten, fasting takes away the energy you have to respond to provocative statements and provocative, because people can provoke you, they can whine you, like we say in Nigeria, guys, they whine you on that job. But when you are not eating, you don't have the energy to respond to such comments and such actions and such. No, you don't, because you conserve your energy. You want to use it for your job. So you find that you're more professional at your job when you are not eating. You don't have the energy to waste on unnecessary comments and conversations. And so these are the ways that I have benefited from adopting a fasting lifestyle. How about you? Would you like to share some of your experiences, or do you have any counter opinions? Feel free to drop them in the comments. And young lady who dropped this comment, I have no animosity towards you whatsoever, but I do have a fasting fact sheet which I will leave in a link to in the description of this video, so you can download it and help you if you're interested in fasting and you want some help. I will put in some tips there and eventually develop a more detailed PDF or ebook about my fasting experience that might help someone watching. Please kindly share it and like it, and also subscribe to this channel, and drop a comment below if you have any more questions about fasting, anything you're curious about, or any other topics you would like me to make videos on, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.